Greetings, I am Lice.
And I am Scandal.
Let's play a game together. Yes, my friend is like, shit, you're on the wrong side of the speaker. Let me move you.
Okay, well, so just in case you don't know, our cute little setup is that I have a louder voice. I project more than my friend does, which is fine. I've had a lot more training, and I've also not been discouraged as much, I believe, in relation to my voice. So I have a much louder voice.
So since I've been a girl my whole life, there's a problem with me being loud, and a lot of people don't like it.
It's true.
And so I'm very bad at projecting, even if I'm sometimes good at the voices and such.
It's true. I like my friend's voices. My friend has fantastic voices. And I am sad sometimes when my friend is like, I don't have voices. And I'm like, my friend, because everybody was like, you're such a dork, or basically, so this is going to get a little bit ableistic, but this was my experience with my family, of basically being, you're so fucking basically messed up in the head. And, you know, it's fine. That just seems to fit, you know, the stereotype of basically all mentally ill people just act like this.
You would just make
You're just
voices.
loud and obnoxious. Yeah. That's what you are. Oh, you're so funny when you make this stupid voice. Anyway, I'm fine. I'm not bitter at all. Like,
so I got in trouble for being loud, my friend did not. All right, here we go. Stairs.
Hey!
Time to master the stairs. We'll be
Who are you, Master Stairs?
I am the stair master, master of the stairs.
Stair master.
Okay, but if you're the stair master, does it mean you don't blink?
Ooh, good question.
Right.
You know, Grandpa and his stair opinions.
That they should all be escalators?
Hi.
Yeah, we need to get these in order.
Wait, Grandpa had stair opinions?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
Did he have stair opinions?
I don't fucking think so. That's why I'm really kind of confused. Again, so we've complained before about basically where Philip Jones is the gentleman that Regina is talking about, his grandpa. And he has appeared extremely sporadically in regards to talking about what the garden needs.
More and more sporadically.
Yeah, and he is the lawyer who is supposed to be deciding on whether or not we fulfill our great Aunt Mary's, will's conditions
based
to
on
earn the property.
His sort of personal preference at the moment.
Which
basically going, he is Sir Didymus and going, if I say so, you can keep the garden.
Right.
And if I don't say so, you can't. And
well,
we're going, will you please say so? And he's going,
He's more of a shit than I think Didymus is.
Yeah. We need to get these in order. Anyway, I don't remember him having a specific opinion about stairs.
I don't either.
Please feel free to stare. Out of order. What about the other stairs?
Oh, there's grass? So no.
You know.
We're going to get to the other ones later. I guess it'd be a continuation of. Honestly, I think it'd go.
I mean, it's a little interesting break for them to have.
Actually, honestly, I like this one because then it makes more sense because then it breaks up and it
does. I think
ripples into it basically, like you have a water experience kind of thing. That'd be cool.
Okay, your bricks are your stone wall, your retaining wall is running into your stairs.
I'm having a problem too. It's okay. It's fine.
All right, so
I'm just gonna decide.
We just need to fix the side wall, the retaining wall, because it does still have a lot of mortar and grout problems.
And she's buying the stairways. What? What is that song?
Stairway to Heaven. And she's buying the stairway to heaven. That's what that is.
I actually remember years ago, so this is me, but when I was younger, there was a Cowboy Bebop AMV that involved Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it was a really cool AMV. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, classic rock is pervasive. People, you're too young to know that song. Oh my God, do you know what classics mean? They play them everywhere.
You know what I also feel bad though?
Huh?
People are like, 20 years ago, it was the classics, and you're like,
oh,
No. I feel like we need a broader definition, especially as music is more easily accessible and recorded.
And we have a longer history of recorded music, because recorded music, in general, doesn't have actually that long of a history. Even radio music doesn't have that long of a history.
Yeah.
So saying you're a classic and going, I really love to listen to music from the 20s and 30s, and I love big band and I love blues is super cool, and people going, classic blues from the 80s.
And you're like,
and you're going,
what?
No.
Okay. My dudes,
anyway.
No. All right.
And she's buying the stairway
to the Zen garden.
Okay, that's adorable. That's adorable. Okay, but if we are buying it, what money are we using? Because
what do you think you'll do when this project is all over?
Clearly, I'm going to buy me that horse that I always wanted as a little girl and let it run around and eat the entire garden and die of plant poisoning. Wait, that sounds terrible. Why did I start that at the beginning and then end it in a where space? I wanted to end it in a happy little child space, not in a where realistic space. No. Okay, I'm going to buy a fake horse and have it out front. Maybe I'll get one of those swings that looks like a horse and ride that.
Right.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I honestly have no idea. Maybe live here? Like, that could be cool.
That could be
Just
awesome.
live here.
Badass.
Maybe actually meet some people in the town. Maybe actually go to the town, not to just buy something for here. Because it's always to buy fish for here. You know, the fish store guy stares at me. It took like 9 trips to get enough goldfish and koi and other things. Every time he's like, oh, it's you again.
Oh,
and I'm
hi.
like, hi, it's me again.
Yep.
By the way, this really particular special thing, I need a bunch of it right now.
Them.
Here's $9,000.
That's still gonna take 3 weeks.
Oh, shit.
It's gonna take a month.
If I expedite
Actually-
it, how much will it cost?
It'll take 2 weeks.
If I expedite it harder. You want to go to the black market for that, honey.
Honey,
Honey, no.
Let me call around. It'll take me probably about an entire day or two.
Can I order my koi fish, like, on Amazon Prime and get overnight shipping? That'd be cool.
Sigh.
All right.
I
honestly have no idea. I don't plan on getting a job if I'm going to be rich, because I've only ever really done jobs because you're supposed to, and I hate them. And I've never really had friends really consistently ever. And maybe I could actually have some friends.
I love that thing of people going, no, what you need is a job. Not like you need actually money, and that's the thing that we're all trying to get from the job. And you're not that, you're trying to have a house.
So I have been very frustrated with we need to reopen America. And I'm just going to, this video will be terribly dated in a little while once the pandemic is over. But for me, I'm going, everybody going, people need to go back to work. They don't need to go back to work. They're able to find things to do. They might be stir crazy as hell, but what they need is money to pay their bills.
Yeah.
Well, then they need to go back to work. No. When you do problems in a business or a company, you try to find the root cause. The root cause of your problem with the, people needing to go back to work isn't they need to go back to work. It's not even they need money. It's they need housing and food and like security and safety.
Yeah.
So what would it take to provide that? Well, them going to work. No. You say those things cost money, so what they need is money. If you're giving the business money to be able to afford to pay the employees, why not let the business stay shut down and pay the owner and the employees? Because the owner obviously needs to eat too.
Right.
And then they don't have to have it open and, basically using resources, using electricity, using water, using all of what's there, wearing itself down, especially like in venues that there aren't going to be enough customers to justify the cost of the employees, that kind of thing. Or where it's just really not safe for all of us. Anyway, so no idea.
Hi.
Buy a silk robe and wander around in my gardens with a fake pipe. Could do that. Reading books. Try out one of those meal delivery services.
Oh, okay. Sometimes they're nice. I get it. We actually did a couple of meal delivery services in order to just tide ourselves over while we're trying to get stuff set up.
So when we first
it makes total sense.
Moved here, which was 6 months ago now? 8 months?
Yeah, something like that.
I think it might be 6 months ago now. Anyway, when we first moved here, we actually took advantage of a few of their offers, where not took advantage in the bad way, just we literally used the offers
that they
to
gave
get
us,
serious discounts on delivering meals to your doorstep, so that we wouldn't have to plan for food in an empty space where in a town we didn't know very well, and it worked out really nicely.
Yeah, it did.
Now, it wasn't something we ended up wanting to do forever, even though it was fun to have once in a while.
Right.
But it's the sort of thing of going, once you've got the recipes, you've kind of got the recipes, and the novelty wears off quickly.
It does. What makes them nice and convenient that we did talk about is, especially if you are working a lot, they can be very useful where you're like, I don't want to go out to go eat as much. Now, there's the question, though, that I kind of have of going, some of the prices really are almost basically the same as going out to eat, though they're more expensive than, I will say, fast food, because I hate to say it even now, that I've realized as time has gone on, in some ways, some fast food is starting to become so fucking cheap, it's just easier to do fast food, so in some cases, compared to doing a big, huge meal.
Or even groceries sometimes. You can feed the entire family at Taco Bell for $15 sometimes, and you cannot do that at the grocery store with the same variety and or protein heavy weight of food.
Especially in regards to sometimes. So I actually, for a period of time, was living off of $20 a week. For a while. That is a hard fucking thing to do. You're basically down to ramen, hot dogs, and stroganoff, and sometimes you can get chicken, kind of thing. And so you have stroganoff of some kind, you have chicken, you have some varieties you can do. But that's basically it. And then you have frozen vegetables. And that was it, because you can't buy the fresh ones.
See, and I did like beans a lot, because beans are really inexpensive.
I also did beans too. That one I did as well.
But they're not as interesting without things. One of the things for me, because a lot of times for me, beans weren't interesting if they didn't have more flavor in them. So salsa can be pretty damn cheap.
Right.
Beans and salsa can be a really like simple thing, and if like either tortillas or corn chips go on sale, then it makes an interesting meal of texture and flavor pretty cheaply.
However, that again is one of those things where you're like, oh my god, guys, so if you don't know what minimum wage is supposed to be in the United States, minimum wage is supposed to be the wage that they go, you can afford to live on, / have like basically rent, pay your mortgage, whatever is required, and also still be able to feed yourself and pay your bills and whatever you need to do.
Yes, so
that is the baseline. That is so fucking not true. So when I was doing the $20 a week thing, I was working at McDonald's several years ago, actually when I first met you. And it was like $8 an hour or something like that.
And had I got to know my friend faster and also knew they were doing that, I would have fed them, but I did not know.
But that's okay. You didn't need to. But it's one of those things too that you like, because I was trying to figure out basically how to save money. Because my always biggest problem really was that in regards to my own finances, I could never basically really earn enough money. I was thankfully never in a situation where I was working paycheck to paycheck, because I performed a lot of behaviors like that. I wouldn't really eat a lot or go out a lot. In fact, it was the weirdest thing where my friend finally actually, I think it was like Wonder Woman or something.
Okay.
When the Wonder Woman movie came out, that was like the first movie I ever took myself to.
Right. And
like it was so weird. My friend was like, "You've never been to a movie by yourself?" And I'm like, "No, that's a weird thing you do not do." Like, and I know it's like a lot of people are like trying to normalize it, and I appreciate that totally.
See, and
it's just a thing that I socially just never did. Like, it's
I've never done it, but I rented movies by myself.
See,
and
renting movies is fine,
but
like going to a movie theater by yourself?
Okay, so in our town, we had like the last Blockbuster in America, just about. I want to say because it was there for a long
I think
time.
there is still one though.
There might still be one somewhere.
So you don't have the last
so
one.
I was wrong. I say, but ours was there a lot longer than many of the other ones. And like I remember when I was living on my own at one point, it was super great. It was when it was near when I had first moved out of my parents' house, and I could walk 2 blocks down to the Blockbuster, and they had this like like basically like weekend like midweek renters special. And since I worked the weekend night shift, I would just rent 5 movies for $5 and I have movies all week.
Right.
And it was kind of fun. Anyway, and sometimes it wasn't movies all week because I'd binge 4 in a night, but it's fine.
Right. Sometimes I wonder if basically we should like, so we've actually talked about this, of whether or not that we should try sharing maybe like recipes for either like food or ways that we've kind of like dealt with food, because I know it's a big concern for a lot of people.
So one of the things that I will say in reference to meal delivery service, and then we'll keep moving, is that
I still think your experience in China was badass as hell.
It was very
first
cool.
of all.
I say, so the neat thing for me about meal delivery services is they're very different than having a recipe book, because the structure of recipe books in the past or cookbooks in the past has not been here as a whole meal. It's here's a main dish, here's a salad, here's your sides, here's your desserts.
Yes.
And the meal delivery services go, here is a whole meal. You don't have to make any choices or decide what goes together. This is it. And so if you pick up a cookbook and it is a cookbook of whatever, it's going to have all these sections so you can easily find the types of things. It doesn't have here's whole meal number 1 that's got your main dish, side, and like vegetable, whatever, or whatever your like the American meal standard kinds of thing.
Yeah.
Or it's got your pasta with your vegetable in it and your meat on top kind of thing. It doesn't do that. Now, I don't know if modern cookbooks have more restructured themselves that way, but that's where meal delivery services are really strong. It's a whole meal. You don't have to make any choices.
Yep.
Catch up on, oh my God, really?
Really?
On Supernatural? Maybe read the rest of my aunt's books. Maybe. I don't know.
It's okay. How behind are you? We're really gonna do this? Okay, I'm sorry. Neither of us like Supernatural, and
I don't know if I like or dislike it. I have run into it in waiting rooms, and that's it. I have never sat down and watched a single episode ever.
I don't.
So
it's okay. I was turned off super hard in regards to the fact of them going, the only gods that have any influence at all really left in this world at all are the gods of the white people, which is to say the Christians. Which felt incredibly offensive. So again, this was just one episode.
White-centric.
Wow, you mean like we only write this for one specific audience and then everybody else can just go fuck themselves?
And for me,
that is okay.
I hadn't been interested and I hadn't really cared. I guess I ran into it at the gym. A couple of times I've been gifted a free gym membership.
Right,
or I've done the free 30-day trial or something like that, because it sounds like one of those things that, you should do because everyone says it's a good thing and it's success. And, well-disciplined people go to the gym. And I went, I want to be a well-disciplined person. And then I realized that is one particular opinion and variety, whatever. But anyway, nice. So I'd seen it at the gym a couple of times, but not really seen it. It was just playing in the background. But it kind of kicked it for me when somebody went, I saw this being that was in Supernatural. They're just like one of your OCs. And I'm like, tell me about them. And then I'm like, that is not even the slightest bit like my OC. They have a vaguely similar name? How is this a thing?
Hi.
I'm done, thank
What?
you. I don't ever want to watch this because I don't want you to try to talk to me more about it. It's fine.
It's fine. It's okay.
How behind are you? All right. Last time I was... Oh my God. Nope, Regina's going to say you're all caught up. I think Regina's going to say you're all caught up.
Right.
All right. Last time I was watching, I think they were fighting monsters and being hot.
And there was Wincest.
Ah.
That narrows it down.
Absolutely. I wish wanted to say, oh no, you're all caught up, honey.
Oh no, honey, you're fine. It's
That's
fine.
it. That's the whole story. All right, repair railings. Oh, we are going to repair the retaining wall. Let's do it.
Please. It's
We need to.
bothering me.
I want to get the bricks off the stairs.
Like it's bothering.
Also-
Why do you keep walking up and down and up and down and up and down?
I am so entertained that they go, let's repair this. Walks up the top of the stairs to admire their work. Walks back down to get to work. We fixed that. Walks back up to the stairs to admire their work. And to make sure Grandpa's still sitting on the rock. And then they go back to work. Then they go back up there to look at, still sitting on the rock, still sitting there. And then they go back to work again. Because if he's
I
coming,
wanted to get my 10,000 steps in today for this hour.
Oh my God.
For the
10,000 steps for this hour. Oh my God.
Sorry, I'm thinking about Detective Pikachu at night.
All right.
All right, let's get these railings replaced too.
Okay, so I'm going to point out something really cute about Detective Pikachu real quick.
Yes, fine.
All right, so if anyone hasn't seen the movie of Detective Pikachu, this should not be a spoiler because it's not about the plot. Okay?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
it depends. Just in case. No, it might
No,
be.
it is. So
Okay, I'm like,
I thought it wasn't, but it is. Okay, my bad. This is a huge spoiler for Detective Pikachu because I was thinking about something else.
Right.
My bad. All right, so for most of the movie, when Pikachu talks, he walks on his back feet. Okay?
Yep.
And Pikachu's, you don't think about the fact that none of them ever walk on their back feet when they're walking around. They stand up, but they do not walk on their back feet.
They're sort of like, I am a ferret. I will stand up and look at you, and then
And then
I'll
I'll
hop
bound
down.
around. And there's a lot of comments throughout the movie about, not being able to move quickly, not being able to get anywhere, not being able to keep up. You need to carry me. And then in the end of the movie, when Pikachu changes, he's suddenly on all fours again. He's plenty fast and he's amazing. And it's a really, really good piece of character building and awareness. And the fact that if you ever have a body swap with someone, you need to know they will not instantly know how to use that body in a most efficient or functional way at all.
Yes.
All right, so I'm done.
All right, spoilers are over. Boing! All right, we can match them to what we did to the wall, or we can do something else. What do you think? Matching.
Probably matching. How about something insane? All right, let's
Matching.
make it work. It still goes over the stair. No, I want it to not go over the stair. Oh my God, bushes are not retaining walls. Can you imagine a bush holding up these giant wooden logs?
Why not?
Okay, so I kind of want to just put it there and then watch these huge timbers crush through it, the entire roof crumble down, break off the cute little pagoda toppers on the end of the wall at the bottom, and then both of them go, why did that happen? How weird. Actually, Regina goes, son of a bitch, and curse a blue streak, basically.
Right.
And Lily go, oh my God, what happened?
Hi. No.
And then you get Mr. Jones showing up and standing on the top of the rubble like a troll being like, well, this isn't going to pass inspection. Sorry about that.
Oops.
Both of them. Fuck you.
Oops, I think I did it again.
All right, so
I
just
played with your
bushes and hedges are not retaining walls.
They're not.
Oh my God. I like it this way because we totally just propped up those timbers and then built this underneath it and then put
Lily's
them back
patron is badass as hell.
They are.
Like, honestly,
Lily's God for this garden is amazing. And Regina's like, I do not know why this works, but it works with you, so that's fine.
And it's sort of a little horrifying sometimes where I watch you just move stuff out of the way, and I don't even know how, my brain cannot put
it feels like being in a dream, and it made perfect sense when you did it, and when I try and think of it afterwards, it's even hard to remember.
Hi.
I like it this way.
How cute.
Cute? Really?
I guess.
Hi.
Are you feeling any better? Or we still have the
maybe.
hole everywhere?
Honestly, not really. Learning about the money the other day just made me, more stressed.
Why?
Because in this moment, we're finally going to acknowledge that he said, if you inherit, which we didn't acknowledge at that time.
That's a good question. What is it about?
Now it's not just the house, it's the money. She is acknowledging that he said, if you inherit, you'll get the money.
Ooh.
But I feel like this is a long time to wait to acknowledge it to the reader.
Yeah, no, I know. I agree. I think a lot of this is also very frustrating, very annoying anyway. There's some of the... pacing! My dudes, I also understand in regards to some, again, that thing where I mentioned in actually one of the My Mystic Dragon episodes, where I'm going like, people have difficulties with pacing because your priority is not about really making a cohesive, thematically involved, diverse, like, plot with a lot of really strong characters and a good beginning and a good end, because they need to be able to, one, either keep going, or they need to be able to stretch it out for as long as they need to, whatever gets the most.
And in the case of this game, and games that have this sort of star currency structure to unlock your story, I imagine they expect most people will want instant gratification. Unlike me, who can wait forever and build up 9,000 stars if I so desire. I say, but if you then do binge and play a huge amount of the story, it looks very different than if you take it in little bite-sized chunks as you unlock the stars. So even in my museum story, I've done the same thing. And even when I wasn't Let's Playing, when I did it on my own, which is part of why I was like, there were some times when I was just back in the day before I ever even considered being a Let's Player, where I just thought, you know, it'd be interesting to share the way I play games with people, or the way I make choices with people, or what's happening here with people, that kind of thing.
Right.
And anyway, so like I'm not one of those people that going, I like to, when I'm doing a task, do it basically all the way. I do that hyper focus thing. So I'm like, I will play through and earn 50, 60, 150 of whatever your currency is for unlocking the story, and then read through, you know, an hour of it, kind of thing.
And that's totally fine. I completely get you.
It makes the story feel very, very different than if you buy it star by star as you can afford it.
You mean like when you have an audiobook and you're listening to a book and you can actually keep everything in your head all at once, and suddenly you're being faced with the entire story in a much shorter amount of time and going, wait, hang on.
Or when you listen to a series of books from the last book first, back, and then you realize that plot elements that shouldn't have been there were there, or that things that people shouldn't have known they did know, etc., etc.
Honestly, it was a fun activity. I actually did it while I was working at another warehouse job before I worked at the place that I ended up with my good friend Liz over here, where I ended up actually re-listening to the entirety of the Harry Potter series, starting from the end,
the last book,
all
back
the way to the
first
beginning,
one.
and it was really weird.
It was a trip to figure out basically how the plot interacts
Like,
with
I
itself.
don't remember all the stuff, and it really was one of those things, though, but you're listening to it, and you're like, oh, God, so I started with all this stuff, and then suddenly you go to the other one, and you're like, wait, something's missing. Like, and in every single one, there was something that was basically shifted or altered, and you were like, oh, when this was originally coming out, it really was one of those things where you're like, I just didn't see it at all because it came out in a different order.
That's it, and it's really interesting.
Anyway,
If you're ever wondering about your own plot, trying to tell your story backwards, you can often find holes or gaps in it that way.
Yes.
It's a pretty cool experiment, and especially if you want to avoid anything like retconning, later on, if you find you need more information, you know, when you're writing more books and you didn't, you know, originally it was planned as one book, and the publisher's like, you need to do more of these because it was popular. That's the only way to do that.
Honestly,
I would say then doing your plot backwards can help you find holes and like errors.
There's also sometimes, I think, an interesting thing that you can do, which is actually literally just have somebody read your story or read your chapter out loud.
Okay.
And then you like have it recorded, and then you basically play it in a different space, and you're just listening to it and going, wait,
So,
what the fuck was that?
Another thing that is super valuable is if you're having anybody do proofreading for your book, have them read it out loud. And even if they're just reading out loud to you in person, or like over a Skype call, or even if they're just recording their first read, no editing, you will see where your language tripped up or challenged them. And if you have several people do this for you, then you can hear which sentences caught people up the most, or places where basically they all interpreted your tone differently, or your tone wasn't very clear, that kind of thing. Even if they're not like skilled audiobook readers or anything, they just read it out loud, and it lets you know what their basically expectation is versus what you're writing, and you can feel whether or not they feel connected based on how much energy they put into the story.
Right, exactly.
It's a kind of a cool thing. But like a lot of times when you even read your own sentences out loud, you go, wait, what does that sound like? I've made a habit of when I'm writing emails, I read them back to myself out loud.
There's also
It
the thing
helps.
too that, like, yeah, even for me, where like if you're also going to do it, there's another thing that I enjoy doing as well, is going like, pretend like you've never seen this word or any of this stuff at all, and deliberately, extensively go through and read every single word. Don't just basically browse over it. Where
You're
most
gonna
people
find that you dropped words here and there.
and you're also gonna go, I added in a word there. Why did I do that? Did this make sense? What am I doing here? Yeah, like really.
Or you get repeated words. One of the biggest problems I get whenever I'm helping people edit, or when I get emails from people or whatever, is there's a lot of repeated words. Where they say that and that, where they say did and did, where they say perfect and perfect and perfect, like 6 times, like 3 times in the same
right,
sentence.
and you're like, whoa.
Where you're going, one, you've lost all of your ability to synonym, but two, it's almost like you're talking forwards and backwards. Sometimes you finish the sentence with what you were starting it with, and so you kind of talk yourself in a circle. At any rate!
Well, thank you very much, guys, then, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And please, if you would like to support us, or like to sponsor us, or just like to tip us for being so awesome, as we are, of course.
As we try.
Please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We've got some links in the description down below. But other than that, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!